Hey, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live to go ahead and take questions from the general audience online. And what you need to know is that there are some basic rules, pool rules, if you will, with how we do this free consultation. So you get about 5 to 7 minutes with the questions. Sometimes we get a little bit longer. Also, don't use your real name. Don't stack your questions. You can get one or two in, but don't go beyond that. Remember, please to go ahead and, so it looks, we got some stuff in the background. So remember, with that said, hold on, I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quick. With that said, keep in mind, please remember to go ahead and also be kind to the other people in the chat section. And also, with all that said, no story mode. Just get right to it. We've got the first caller on the phone right now. And also please remember to mute basically the phone when you, or not the phone, the computer screen or your YouTube player when you actually go ahead and call in. That way we don't get that feedback thing. Okay. All right. Speaker is on. We've got the first caller. Madame, go ahead and walk me through what is your legal question, and remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm trying to avoid this story mode that you're talking about, but sure. I have a hearing coming up next week, and my attorney hasn't been very helpful, and I'm kind of wondering if I even have any time to maybe switch to another attorney. I didn't have a whole lot of options. I have 100% with the VA, which I thought would help, but they haven't gotten my files. There's just a bunch of things missing on the attorney side, and I just feel lost, and I don't know what else to do from this point on. I'm scared because I've been waiting for 2 years, and we're finally here, and she's already told me be prepared to get denied. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, like, if I get denied, and she said there's no point to appeal unless I have substantial evidence showing that anything's changed, which I had.
Whoa. What about errors on behalf of the judge? What about, factual legal errors on behalf of the judge?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, look, nothing could change in the claim, but the judge could have made an error in their logic. They could have assumed some factual aspect of your claim, like that you were born on a certain date, that you had some job that you didn't actually have. They could have assumed a factual error. Now you would appeal that. So, I mean, I'm a little nervous. Is this a big box firm situation, or like what are we talking about here?
What do you mean big box?
Is it one of those giant firms that advertises all the time that doesn't really do disability? They do like personal injury, but they add it because, their personal injury people are also now disabled?
Yeah, it's like disability help services in our area.
Gotcha.
They're not very big, and they don't have great reviews. But like I said, there wasn't many people willing to take my case because of my age. But with my background in the military, I'm trying to set things up. And when I got that report from my last psychiatrist, it was helpful. So it should have changed things. But now she's ignoring me, and my attorney's ignoring me, and I don't know. I just have so much anxiety. Like, can I switch at this point? It's only 3 days away. And if I do, I guess I have to file a request for more time on my own, right? And it's probably not enough time. Do I just go ahead and go through and just pray that things, I don't know.
I mean, here's kind of the basic thing that you have to understand. Most disability lawyers that are like worth their, weight in gold or whatever, however you want to phrase it, they won't take claims unless there's no other attorneys on the record. Like the other attorneys have withdrawn for up in fees and stuff like that. So as a result of this, it's plausible that another attorney could take your claim, but it's one of those things where, so the main thing I see, and I, keep in mind, I'm in Florida. And so I get, people who get angry at the big box firms and then join me. And then they go, and then I look at the claim and I'm like, okay, so for the past 2-3 years, you haven't really been building this in a direction. And they go, well, yeah, because nobody told me what to do. And then I go, yeah, but now we got the hearing in 2 months. So one of the big things, you have to keep in mind is that structurally, all right, let me just do a quick claim assessment. All right, what are your top 5 most severe disabling medical conditions?
Depression, ADHD, schizophrenia, anxiety, and my back issues.
Okay. So can you walk me through this? The back issues, like, do you have a walker prescribed to you, a wheelchair, anything like that?
No, no, but I've been going through physical therapy and I mean taking medications over, over the years. But because I don't have surgery, I think that doesn't look well on that side. So I guess I'm just hoping that maybe on the mental health side, it might be better or easier to win in comparison to the back stuff.
Mhm. Okay, walk me through this. When it comes to, basically the mental side, have you ever been inpatient at a mental facility?
No. Does that mean like overnight?
Yeah, like overnight.
No, I
Okay.
haven't.
Okay. So let me ask you this. When it comes to these impairments, are you mostly treating through the VA?
Yeah, and outside the VA. So I was going through two different doctors. I wasn't getting the help that I needed through the VA. So I tried outside, and that wasn't going so well because that doctor didn't write up a good report
Mhm.
for this case. So then I got another psychiatrist, which cost a lot more than I don't have the money for, but they were able to write a good report that will hopefully help with the case.
Okay. Let me ask this. When it comes to, basically your setup, when was the last time that you worked? Like, payroll based work?
Back in 2019, officially, well, on file, on paperwork with them, I think it shows 2023
Mhm.
was the last official time I worked. So I'll go with that.
Okay. And can you tell me over the past 5 years, what types of jobs have you had?
Um, I was supply in the military, as supply tech, um, a photographer after. And so I was trying to stay working. I was doing the best that I could, but I was losing a lot of jobs because I couldn't keep up. And just, I've been making every attempt to work, but I've just had to call out. And the migraines were the worst too. So I'd be on the road and then I'd have to pull over and I've tried medications for it and it's not helping.
Okay. When you say you were on the road, were you an over the road driver or what were you doing?
Just driving around the city, different photo shoots of houses.
Mhm.
So, you have to carry equipment and, spend hours editing. That was what really started messing with my back was like the sitting and editing for long periods.
Mhm. Okay. Let me ask you this. When it comes to, being able to, were you doing any side gigs post 2023? Any little side work, anything like that?
Yeah, it was mostly freelance.
Okay. Gotcha. What were you earning in 2024 total? And what have you earned so far in 2025?
In 2024, almost nothing really for this year. But in 2024, that's the year that I'm claiming for the Social Security, and I think it was only like 4,000 for the year. But the previous year was 20,000. So they were asking me what made the difference between 20,000 and now 4,000.
Mhm.
So
And what's the answer to that?
just my issues just were getting more aggravated, and um, just the severity of my symptoms just became worsened over time, and it's just gotten to be unmanageable in public.
Okay, but like walk me through this. Like, help me understand this. And I get what you're saying. I do get it. When you say they became worse, what evidence do you have that shows during that time period that they became more severe and they really slowed you down?
Um, I just mainly just changing different doctors, getting new medications. I've just been trying a bunch of different medications, and it's gotten to the point where my doctor says that the hearing the voices comes from the trauma over time. So that is like a new, I mean, not a new thing, but I only started reporting because I'm scared that I guess I don't want my kids taken away. And, so I'm trying to be careful with how I proceed with that.
Kind of like fighting with one hand behind the back kind of spiel.
I don't know what that means, but can you elaborate, please?
So, okay. So the main thing that, all right. Okay. When disability attorneys look at a claim, they look at bubble claims. Is the person living in a bubble? Is somebody else working and providing them benefits? Is some government agency giving them a monthly check? And therefore, are they, basically not having to go and experience the difficulties of life? And as a result of that, they don't really get evidence that shows how bad their impairments are because they're constantly in a controlled scenario, which is what happens with the VA benefits. That's why a lot of disability attorneys tend to stay away from veterans at this point. The other thing too is that, yeah, when somebody has children, male or female, and they're trying to either win in a divorce custody battle or just retain custody of the children, or for whatever reason, they tend to not want to say that they're severely, severely bad. They want to just basically say, hey, I have these impairments, but you never really go to the degree in which you're, willing to show that you are truly, truly super duper bad. And as a result of that, what kind of happens is you don't tend to collect evidence that shows severity because you've always held back a little bit from explaining to them the really, really severe, terrible things that are going on inside your mind when you're, sleeping and having nightmares, night terrors, flashbacks, all that kinds of stuff. So that's another thing that's kind of tough because disability attorneys look for somebody who like isn't giving their full effort. So are you in a divorce situation where basically, you're trying to retain custody of the children?
No.
Okay. So let me ask you this. When it comes to the mental impairments, out of all of them, which is the most severe?
Depression.
Okay. Can you explain to me what are the top 4 symptoms that you have with depression?
Well, it's hard to get out of bed. Sometimes, like I don't sleep well. Whenever I'm trying to get to sleep, like I'll close my eyes and I see like just images that are not, I don't know what you call that, but it's faces that don't sit right. So I have to open my eyes it just takes me a long time to fall asleep. So when I wake up the next day, I never fully rested. I'll cry just out of nowhere. I don't get along with my family. I don't have a lot of friends. So it's just hard to communicate with people. So I stick to myself a lot.
Okay. So what I'm looking for is more bullet point answer. What are your top 4 symptoms for depression? Go ahead.
Uh, Dang, I guess I need to get this together before the hearing for sure, but I don't really know how to answer that other than what I've already said.
Okay. Let me ask you this. When it comes to your ability to complete basic tasks, are you able to cook, clean, do laundry, help out the children, etc.?
Sometimes, but sometimes they help out. They're old enough to where they can help out with a lot of stuff now, like the cooking. But it gets hard for me because I can't stand for more than like 15, 20 minutes. I have to sit, and like if I'm sitting too long, it's painful for my back, and so I'm constantly moving.
Okay. Let me ask you this. When it comes to, basically, and I got to switch over to the next person because we've been on for 15 minutes. When it comes to, the letter that the doctor wrote, what do they specify about your jobs?
That basically I wouldn't be able to work because I would be missing too much time from work. Just between the anxiety, the depression, just all of the things that I listed. it looked to be a lot more helpful than what I had gotten before. But that was only submitted just a few days ago. But
Okay.
it's, and I don't even know if they submitted it or what, because there has to be like a certain period of time, right? They have to submit it to the judge. I don't know if that's by mail or what. But is there any way that I can still like get on with you guys at this point? Like if I wanted to switch attorneys, and would I just have to make a request to switch? Or is that possible? Can I just call you on another, like outside of this call?
Yeah. So tomorrow, shoot me an email with medical documentation and the letters to the info@disabilityresolution.com. Again, info@disabilityresolution.com. And from there, I'll kind of take a look at the medical documentation. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm picky. And, the reason I'm picky is because we get a lot of calls for people looking for representation. And I want to pick the ones that I feel like I can improve the most. The fact that you're calling
Okay.
and you realize things are bad, that's a good sign because that means you're willing to go ahead and work towards a solution. The kicker is that your hearing is right around the corner. So if you put it off, it'll probably be in about 3 months, but you'd still have to get the other attorney to withdraw for representation and fees. So there's a little bit of legwork
Okay.
here. But if I can't help you, I will go ahead and basically give you some sort of like bullet point list of things to work on, things to obtain, things to go, basically do for the claim. And then at that point, you should be rolling in the right direction compared to where you're currently at. But like, I'll ask you one final question, which will assess kind of like where you're at with things. What is, let's do this. What difficulty do you have with driving as a result of your mental and physical impairments?
Whenever I get the migraines, I would have to hurry up and get home into a dark room, close all the blinds, no lights, and it would just go on for hours. Sometimes, sometimes 5 hours was the longest. So, I've tried wearing, what is it, the polarized sunglasses, and that doesn't seem to help.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess that's the main one. And then the migraines will be so bad that it causes like a split in my vision, or it's like a beam of light, just boom, 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 and it looks like a torn page.
So,
That
what
makes
about
sense.
difficulty with using your feet on the pedals, turning your head to go ahead and basically see the mirrors, being able to deal with fast objects coming quickly, being able to get in and out of the vehicle, being able to use your arms for the blinkers, being able to rotate your arms with your shoulders to turn a tight right turn? What about those details?
Sometimes it's just with my neck. My neck will be so stiff, like turning my head was an issue. But overall, like those other things don't seem to bother me.
So then the judge would respond, okay, so you don't have any severity with that.
No. And is that bad? That's probably not good, huh?
It's a no bueno. It is a class five. Because remember, you're giving evidence that basically specifies that you are not dealing with difficulties. You want to present to the judge the impairment related problems that you have that make you unable to go ahead and complete functional tasks. And at the end of the day, you want to be able to explain all the things that limit you from doing, cooking, cleaning, laundry, brushing your teeth, getting dressed, going to the bathroom, doing online shopping, being able to pay your bills, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So like, I guess the point that I'm getting at with this whole thing is you got to work on this because it's going to be super important for you in the future. And I mean, if your hearing's right around the corner, like you have to be able to outline this stuff to the judge. And I don't know why. So here's the thing with the community disability help attorneys. They aren't super worried about winning or losing because usually there's some sort of, county funding or assistance funding or whatever. So they're not really super worried about the money. Um,
Um,
and one of the big problems you have to
okay.
kind of keep in mind is that they're presenting a situation where they've been doing it in a shitty way their whole life. And to work on improving themselves is something that takes effort. And they're just kind of used to like, at this point, they call the claimant, speak with them for 20 minutes prior to the hearing. Like, how many times have you talked to the attorney?
Like 3 times. most of it was email. We talked on the phone one time just a few weeks ago, but like I've been waiting for 2 years. But every time I talked to somebody, it was like their front office, or they would submit it to whoever. But this was the first time I'd met her, the attorney, and
Gotcha.
she wasn't very kind.
Okay. So when you were going through these details with her, what did she advise you about preparation for the hearing?
She said just over the next few weeks, just, document how you feel when you're doing a certain activity, just be very detailed in, when the pain comes on, how long it lasts, stuff like that. But I still have no idea what to expect during the hearing, what kind of questions they're going to ask. So I've just kind of been doing my own thing on YouTube and trying to put it together on my own. But the whole reason why I got an attorney was so I could get some help. And I feel like I'm completely alone.
Okay. So, okay. All right. Reach out to me tomorrow. And we'll kind of go from there. Get me the details to the info@disabilityresolution.com email. Again, that's info@disabilityresolution.com. And if you could give me a little mini paragraph summary as to what's going on with the claim, that's always super appreciated. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm sorry. You said description of the status of the claim?
Yeah.
Right?
So hearing is in a couple of days, current issue with attorney, just some basic details. Because remember, tomorrow I'll be like, the moment I get on the phones, I'm hit with like a bunch of different case scenarios. So yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, you have a wonderful, wonderful night. Okay.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so we're going to go over to the caller that called before. Let me check real quick. Oh, here we go. And speaker is on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Walter, it's Tiny Tim. I called Monday and asked you about the 50 to 54 grid rules
Yep.
at the hearing stage, and you told me to call back and see what's the best steps to get a favorable at the recon.
Okay, gotcha. So basically, if we're talking grid rules and you're certain of a grid rule that is potentially within your favor, the main thing that you're going to want to do is go and obtain basically a vocational expert's write-up as to how you couldn't do jobs based off of your medical conditions for the light and sedentary conditions. So how do you collect a vocational expert's testimony? Well, you can search them on Google. You're looking for a Social Security vocational expert to give a write-up as to jobs that would be available and would not be available in the national economy. But what you're really looking for is the terminology of what's called work preclusive. Work preclusive means that there's no jobs in the national economy that you could potentially do as a result of your impairment. So that's pretty much what you're going to be doing.
Okay.
Indeed. Other things to kind of keep in mind is that you don't have any new education, new skills, new diplomas, new security clearances, none of that stuff, correct?
No, I do not.
Cool. So you want to go ahead and use your attorney to write up a brief outlining all the, no direct entry into the marketplace, no recent achievements for skills and or services or academia, and then basically outline the most common jobs that you will likely come up against inside the DOT, which the attorney will be able to write those out, and then from there write out why you would not be able to do those jobs, and then you'll, if you have it, combine that with the vocational experts letter and submit that for them to at Recon go ahead and give a approval at the element 5.
Okay.
Perfect.
Now, so could I ask you one more thing? Maybe?
Yeah, no, go for it.
I'm not sure if you know about this, but my former job is like what's those 3 acronym letters that gives your skill level of your job?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a 7.
SVP,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, SVP is 7. How many transferable? It's structural steel work. It's one of the heaviest work you can do, potentially. How many transferable skills are there from that to sedentary jobs on the vocational level.
Oh man, I have to look it up. I'd have to look it up, go through the job, do an assessment, see what other comparable jobs there are. Were you in a management position or a lead worker position?
No, it was just a plain shop position. Just sitter.
What was the SVP you said? 7?
7, yeah.
So if it's just we're not talking blue collar at SVP 7. We're talking like skilled blue collar. So like, they don't.
Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah. It's heavy on math. There's a lot of math. Now, you don't have to be a mathematician, but what you learn to do is apply it practically to the job. So there's some calculus and trigonometry, but that don't make you a mathematician to do it. You just got experience doing it. That's the only thing about it.
Well, you sold me on it, but at the same time, you're an SVP 7. You're 2 down from the top of SVP 9. So,
right.
they're going to find some jobs to get you with. Because remember, SVP 7, there's a lot of jobs under that. You're in the skilled. Because remember, 1 and 2 is unskilled, 3 and 4 is semi-skilled, and then 5 up to 9 is skilled. And you're at 7. So, like, I know you're selling it to me as a simple, like, here we go job, but man, SVP 7 jobs are not simple. Like, if we go to the DOT, for example, hold on, let me give you some example of some alternative, hold on, DOT Dictionary of Occupational Titles. All right, hold on real quick. Let me pull something up. Let me give you some examples of some other SVP jobs. Job search tools. Boopity boopity boop. Okay, SVP Civil. All right, so some additional ones for SVP 7 would be like a supervisor of pumping. Supervises and coordinates activities of workers engaged in maintaining pipelines and in pumping slurry, tailings, water, and other liquids in an ore processing plant. Let me give you another one. Get some Google ads. Here we go. Supervisor, lace tearing, supervises and coordinates activities of workers engaged in separating, inspecting, and winding lace bands, trains workers in machine operation. Let me give you another one real quick. Production manager, reproduction, supervises and coordinates activities of workers engaged in reproduction of special printed matter, such as maps and textbooks by methods such as offset, handset, or photostatic printing. See what I mean? We're all talking like supervisors, managers, all that jazz.
Right. So what if I've never been a supervisor? So I have no managerial skills or supervision skills. I've never done that.
How many people worked at the company you worked at?
Probably less than 100.
Okay. And with your job, you're saying you never at any point had any managerial capacity over other people?
No, I was just a structural steel fitter and a bridge fitter.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. When you say fitter, are we talking like angle iron and you were welding, or what are we talking about? You were bolting?
No, it's a fitter. Where you weld, you tack things, you layout, basically layout. That's why it's so heavy on math. Okay. You have to use geometry, trigonometry, calculus. But like I was saying about that, I've never been to any special math classes. I just learned all that through the trade. You learn how to apply it practically. I'm not a mathematician or anything. But
to clarify, you were able to read blueprints and create metal structural objects. Okay, man, that's
right. That's the job, Doug. So.
That takes a very educated man to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you're basically creating a metal structure off of a blueprint. There's going to be lots of jobs under that.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to need the vocational expert to step in, write the report, do that jazz, and then, create basically a report to send off to the DDE, to the DDS rep who's making the DDE. Because remember, this is all going to become a battle over whether or not you can do light and or sedentary work. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have an RFC. I've got a sedentary RFC already in my case.
What do you mean already in your case? Is that what the DDS, DDE has it down to, or what do they write?
Well, I sent them one. I sent them an RFC sedentary, but it's not one from the DDS. But it's one from a doctor.
Yeah, so that doesn't mean that you have that. That just means your doctor has the opinion of that. But it's a good step. Right. It's a good step in the right direction. All right. I mean, look, I think I remember this claim. Are you over 55 currently?
No, not I called Monday. Remember I called, I got a stroke. I had a stroke and I got psoriatic arthritis.
Were you the one that
Monday.
I talked with?
There was 2 callers. Yep.
Wait, did we have a conversation about how pepperoni should be done on pizza? Was that call?
Nah, not unless I was talking to somebody else.
No?
No,
Okay.
I don't remember that.
We didn't talk about like pre-crisping pepperoni and like how to like get no.
No, I did not.
Okay, so I remember that one. That one was actually highly instructional for me.
That was Monday. Actually, it was Tuesday morning. It was like 2 o'clock. You only had 2 callers.
Oh yeah, I don't. Man, I'm sorry.
I'm sure it all blurs together.
It all blurs. The only ones I know are the ones that like have a hearing coming up, or like it's somebody that I know personally that like I'm representing. You know, like if a friend of mine knows somebody and then I'm forced to represent them, and then I, you know, like I have to know their, you know what I mean, like that. But otherwise, man, it's you gotta understand, like it's.
Yeah, I can get it.
Yeah.
I got turned down with the initial filing, and then now I'm going into recon. And you asked a few questions about
which geographic area are you in? Are you in Florida? Or are you, which?
Yeah, I'm in the Tampa area, the Tampa district area.
You got a shot in Tampa because the DDS managers there are good. The ones in Central Florida, Orlando, are hyper deniers. So you got a shot.
At the DDS, because I think if I get a denial there, I think by the time I get to a hearing, I'll probably be 50. Because what has the wait time been like between the recon and the hearing phase?
Wait, you think it'd be 60 or 50?
No, 50.
Oh, you're not 50 yet.
No.
Oh, so why are we talking about? Wait, so today you are not 50 yet.
Yeah, no. I called Monday and asked you about the application of the grid because I was confused about whether you had to be 50 at the time of your alleged onset date, or if you were 50 by the time of the hearing, if they would.
Oh, I remember this call. Yeah, I remember this call. Yeah, no. If you're not 50 yet, you're not going to be getting grid out potential. They're not going to plop you into that because you have to nuke all of your back pay the moment you turn 50. Or be like, you know, yeah. So no, that wouldn't be applicable. But if you're under 50, don't worry about grid outs. You know what I mean? It's just there is a grid out for 45 to 50, but it's not useful. You know.
Well, the reason I was thinking it now is because you've done listed so many jobs in the sedentary category that kind of seems like it's gonna be a problem.
I mean, you know, you're under 50, man. Like when the ALJs approve a claim for under 50 or a DDS rep, they get reviewed. That thing goes up to appeals council for them to review it.
Right.
So, you know, like, you know.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm going to catch you a little bit later, but we'll rock and roll from there. You have a wonderful, wonderful night, though, okay?
All right. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, good sir. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
Hello.
Howdy. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. I got a quick question. I am on SSDI, and I currently live in a house with my parents, and they were having a discussion recently. If something happened to them and I got the house, is that going to mess up my SSDI?
No. Houses don't really affect SSDI benefits unless it's like a business that you're managing and like handling day-to-day operations of tenants in it. No, inheriting a house when you're on SSDI benefits is not going to change anything.
Okay, it wouldn't mess up my Medicaid or anything.
So Medicaid can attach to houses. Why are you on Medicaid and not Medicare?
I have a dual complete plan.
Mm-hmm.
I have Medicaid pays my Medicare premium, and then they pick up my whatever Medicare doesn't pay, Medicaid does.
You know, I know how they work, but okay. So let me ask you this. So you're a poverty SSDIer. What per month are you getting?
No, just a little over 1,900.
Okay, well, that's not bad. I'm surprised you got the dual though, considering the monthly there. What was the reasoning for giving that?
I broke my back at work,
Mm-hmm.
and the time ran out to sue them,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't sue them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried working other places, and I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I have a history of depression and anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and I lost a son.
Mm-hmm.
And I had several jobs I tried, but I went for 3 years and never left my bedroom.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised they gave you that because, you know, at 1,900, I don't usually see people with that high of an SSDI check per month getting the help with the Medicare, you know?
Yeah, well, I made good money
Mhm.
before I got hurt.
Yeah.
And it took me 5 years to get my disability because my work would have given me disability, but I didn't know how it worked.
So you would have gotten
And I would
LTD
have went
benefits
out
with
with
them.
$400. I would have went out with $400 a month with 3 kids, and didn't realize Social Security would have picked that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So I didn't know that. So by the time I actually got my disability, my youngest was 17 and a half.
I got you.
So,
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, it's just a lot of bad things that kind of, yeah. But all right. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and take the next caller, but you have a wonderful, wonderful night, okay?
thank you.
Thank you, madam. Bye-bye. Oh, did I press the wrong button? Hold on, hitting. Speakers on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal name? Oh, sorry, no. No, don't use your legal name. What is your legal question?
Yes, I have a question with regard to the recon stage, and it's been in the reconsideration stage since I think it's April, and a letter was sent to them for a dire needs.
Mhm.
And so my question is how long do I wait till a decision after that?
Wait, okay, so you sent in for dire need. So you got your I-2-1-40 in, and at that point you were like, hey, are you guys going to accept this? Are you going to speed up? Are you going to red flag it? And how long have you been wait, so give me the numbers again. When did you enter recon and when did you submit the expedited?
Recon has been since April 23rd
Mm-hmm.
of this year. And then I sent the letter in last Friday, and I spoke with the gal a couple days ago, and she told me that it was with a medical review.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that means. I'm just like going crazy over here with I have rheumatoid arthritis throughout my body, and over the age of 50, 56, and I was a paralegal.
Yay!
Yeah, so I think they're looking at me like, you need to do sedentary work, but I've been sitting there sedentary work for over 25 years.
Yeah.
So now I can't do the things I used to do.
Yeah.
I can't even grasp a cup of coffee without using 2 hands. I'm dropping things all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how long do they need? before I lose everything. No.
Yeah. So basically, to kind of summarize, they're going to take probably, a month to two to figure things out. I mean, if it's with a medical consultant, that's excellent, but usually they assign it to one and then it takes them a little while to go ahead and review it and then, submit their standing as to whether or not you should be expedited. What was the reasoning for your dire need submission? Like under what part of the statute did you submit?
Just that I'm having a financial hardship at this time.
Okay.
That my utilities will be shut off and I can't get my medications that I'm on, like the methyltruxylate and stuff like that for the RA.
Okay. So you're facing imminent eviction, all that.
Right.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, what I would say is this. Don't expect it within the next couple of days that you'll be red flagged for expedited status. If you're April, look, if they expedite you and it's for like dire need, which is what you're talking about, then it will still take them some time to process the claim. So instead of it taking like 14 to like 18 months, it might take like, 10 to 12 months. So, keep in mind, it's still not going to be a super fast process. You can call the DDS rep and ask them specifically, hey, has it been approved? You know what I mean? For expedited status. And that's good, but they're still probably going to have to send you to their doctors and so on and so forth. When you, request expedited status, was there anything in particular that you are relying on evidence-wise to make it easier for them to approve you? Like, was there something that really seemed like it was like, a ruling from the bench kind of situation where there's really good evidence that will go ahead and show them that, you are completely unable to work and should be given a step 5, or more likely even so that you are listing level criteria or a compassion allowance listing?
I don't even know.
So do you have like an attorney working on it or not? Yeah.
I do, but they don't communicate with me. They always have the other staff communicating with me, and it's like the second attorney that I've had take the case. The first one just didn't listen to anything I said.
Okay. So here's what I would like you to do. It's an exercise and it's meant to punish you, but you'll like it in the end. The way it works is you're going to go ahead and write down your top 5 impairments. So impairment 1, impairment 2, impairment 3, impairment 4, impairment 5, right? And then from there, you're going to go ahead and basically you're going to write down the best evidence that you have for each impairment. Best evidence that you have for each impairment. Okay?
Okay.
And then you're going to write down where the evidence can be obtained.
Okay. Like the RA doctor and stuff like that?
Yeah, and then you're going to call DDS and ask to make sure that those records are in the F folder.
Okay.
Now, the point of an attorney is not to go and obtain the medical documentation, although we sometimes have to do that when they won't send it out to the DDS or ALJs. However, here's kind of the thing. What you need to know about this is that the attorney is supposed to be like looking through your record and saying, okay, I like this evidence. I don't like this evidence. This evidence is good. We need more of this. In order to meet this statute requirement, we have to do this. That's the point of the attorney. It's not to be like, hey, you have a new address, update the address in the system. The point of the attorney is to look at the record, see what's good, see what's not good, and then go from there. So you're going to go ahead and do step 1, which is, this is where my best evidence is. Please make sure it's in the record. After that, your next step is going to be basically, your next step after that is figuring out from the statute how to improve your claim that you are in fact disabled.
Okay.
Perfect.
And I'd like to hire you.
Sure. So yeah, give me a call tomorrow. Like, just so you know, tomorrow I have one of those private sessions around 12 noon for an hour. I have another thing directly after that. So like maybe more so in the morning. But give me a call. I can always kind of check through the claim. But all right, so here's what I want you to do before you do the call. So your thing tonight, top 5 medical conditions,
Okay.
best evidence for each.
Okay.
When did they start and when did they become severe?
Okay.
What are 2 symptoms/signs per each?
Okay.
What are your medications and side effects?
Okay.
And what are the jobs you've had within the past 15 years?
That's been the same.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's easy peasy. They only look at the past 5 now, but I like to look at the past 15 because sometimes something will bite me in the butt during the hearings, and I've been bitten hard, and I just it's one of those things where like I just want to make sure I'm not going to get snookered.
No, I fully understand that.
Yeah. So
So I have all that stuff as well.
perfect.
So I had watched your program a couple days ago, and you had hit it on the nail.
Sure.
And so I, in turn, took those questions and asked the attorney or the attorney's office those questions that you had stated for another party to do.
Yeah.
And they couldn't answer the questions. They were looking over something else. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
So
My
even when they went,
RA.
so like even when they went into the file, they still couldn't answer the. What were the questions?
Let me pull them.
Yeah, I'm just curious because like if it was a super spicy one, like in Exhibit 32, page 435, what was in paragraph 3? Like if it's like that.
Okay, what are my strongest impairments?
Oh
or
shit,
evidence
that's the
of my
basics.
most
Yeah.
impairment that they're using to win at the appeals, the factual or legal errors
Mhm.
that the ALJ at the hearing made, like when they first kicked it out.
Yeah, but you're in recon, right?
What is my expected wait time
Mhm.
before another ruling occurs?
Mhm.
What types of evidence should I be doing to
Collecting.
bolster
Yep.
this case?
Yep.
And what if it gets remanded to the judge and you need additional evidence?
But
She couldn't answer the questions.
so how many denials have you had so far with this filing?
I'm sorry?
How many denials have you had so far with this filing?
Well, okay. I filed back in 2024.
Okay.
They denied me.
Okay.
So then I appealed it on my own.
Okay.
And then they didn't say anything.
Okay.
And then the attorney stepped in and responded. And they applied for the SSI and SSDI and said I can get both at the same time.
What is your SSDI full amount that you receive if approved?
I was told that it would be about $20.51.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you're not going to get SSI if you're getting $2,051. You'll get it if you have. So it's too long of an explanation for this, but basically, SSDI you don't count the first 5 months of the month you're found disabled. SSI you don't count the first month of the last month. So there's 4 months in there between the SSDI non 5 months counted and SSI non 1 month counted at the beginning, where you could potentially get SSI for 4 months, but that's if it depends on what your alleged onset date is. That's the only time in which you would actually get, essentially SSI and SSDI, but it wouldn't be, stacking of benefits. You wouldn't get them both. But all right, no problem. Just give me a call tomorrow. Is it a big box firm or is it like a little custom firm? Like what kind of firm is it?
They're well known. I don't know them personally, but apparently they are in the St. Louis area,
Okay.
Springfield
Okay.
area.
All right.
I can let you know who they are.
Yeah, tomorrow just
I don't.
let me know. Yeah, because
Yeah.
ultimately one of the things is we require that the other law firm withdraw for representation and fees. Because, like, after the last 4 years, the dollar is not very strong. So we try to, like, make sure if we're going to do the work, we want to get the total fee. So what I would say is this. Yeah, I mean, I'll walk you through the details. That's the biggie. They got to withdraw for rep and fees. But if they're not able to answer some of those questions, because the main thing is, like, what is the theory of the case? What is the thing that you're trying to do to go ahead and win it? What is the, like, direction that you're trying to go with the claim? If you can't answer that with the claim, then that's not a good sign, because the whole point of the attorney is to say, okay, here's the game plan. They didn't like this, now we're going to try this. They wanted more of this, we couldn't get it, now we're going to do this instead. So that's kind of the point of an attorney for this stuff. So, but anyways, give me a call tomorrow, we will catch up from there, and we'll rock and roll.
Terrific. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, madam. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. You do the same.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. So we are at 51 minutes. We're supposed to go for about 30 minutes. With that said, Attorney Walter Hnot, the most viewed, subscribed to, and clicked on disability attorney in America. If you enjoyed these videos, please remember to head over to Google and type in Disability Resolution Law Firm. That is the law firm that I work at, that I've been working at for the past 12 years, and I worked at other law firms before that. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful and amazing night. Please be kind to each other. Please have fun. Also, we do go live on Mondays and Thursdays. This is an example of one of those lives. And then if you want a private session with a consultation, there's a 1-hour option below and a 30-minute option below. I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night, and we'll go from there. Attorney Walter Hnot, and thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.